Welcome everybody to learning about trigonometric functions, everybody's favorite topic, trigonometry. Not really, sometimes people's least favorite. But what I like about trigonometry is that it provides you multiple ways to figure out and ensure you have the correct answer. So few times in life do we get to know we are 100% right, and trig provides that for us. As you become familiar with it and learn the functions, you can work it backwards and ensure that you have the correct answer. And that's great. Our three trigonometric functions are sine, cosine, and tangent. A little trick for remembering these is a little acronym, SO, CA, TOA. Now this acronym is great in the beginning, but I like to move away from it because we've learned that when we're labeling the sides of a triangle, the A is the altitude. And the angle opposite is a capital letter A. The B, small b is the base, the angle opposite, the capital letter B. And C is our hypotenuse. The angle opposite, 90-degree angle, would be the capital letter C. So I don't want you to get confused between this A and these A's. They are not the same. This is the angle opposite the altitude, represented by the letter A. These A's in these trigonometric formulas stand for adjacent. I don't want you to get confused. I'd like to get you writing out these in a short form that looks like this rather than the SOHCAHTOA. Remembering that the sine of theta represents our angle. Sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. The cosine, cos of theta, equals adjacent over hypotenuse, or the tangent of theta equals the opposite over adjacent. So let's work on these trig functions. We'll draw a triangle and we'll determine which trig function we're going to use based on the given values we have. So we have our base of our triangle. We'll try to draw a proportional. We have the altitude, and we have our hypotenuse. So this is pretty close to a 45-degree triangle. We're going to say our base is 26 feet long, and our altitude is 28 feet long. I like to look for little tricks to help me identify the right answer. So here's one. If the altitude is larger than the base, this angle here is going to be greater than 45 degrees. And if all of our angles in the triangle equal 180 degrees, and this one is 90, and this one is greater than 45, it means that this angle here has to be less than 45 degrees. So let's select the trig function we're going to use. Well, I don't have a hypotenuse, so that rules out sine and cosine. So I'm going to go with tangent. If I'm trying to figure out this angle here, I have the opposite, the side opposite, and I have the side adjacent the angle. I can plug that into my tangent formula. So I have tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent, but we're trying to get our angle theta by itself, so we'll transpose that. We'll end up with theta equals the inverse tan. The opposite of tan is the inverse tan, and it is the second function tan on your calculator, equals opposite over adjacent. Punch some numbers in there. 28 divided by 26. I want to make sure to put our brackets in our calculator. That's important. Bring up our calculator here, our Sharp 520 calculator. We'll enter that in our calculators. So there's our tangent button, and you can see above it is the inverse tan. So we'll go second function tangent, gives us the inverse tan. Open our brackets. 28 divided by 26. Close our bracket, and we'll hit the equals. From our knowledge of our triangles, we said that that angle should be greater than 45. So let's see what it is. 47.12. 47.12 degrees. couple of different ways to figure out this angle. We can use tangent again and just change our numbers out. The reason we'll change them is because 26 is now our opposite, and 28 is our side adjacent the angle we're now looking for. So our opposite side changes because it's opposite our new angle, and our adjacent side changes because it's the side adjacent the new angle we're looking for. So that just changes this out in our formula, and we will change this to 26, our opposite, over 28. Bring back our calculator. We'll clear that. Again, tangent. We're going to look for the inverse tan. Second function, tan, gives us our inverse tan. Open brackets, 26, divide 28. Close our bracket. Always being sure to close our bracket. 42.88. 42.88 degrees. So in a right angle triangle, our angle C is 90. We can bring up our calculator again. If we've done this correctly, and again, this is the joys of trigonometry. If we've done this correctly, these three angles should add up to 180 degrees. Let's bring up our calculator. We'll clear that. We'll start in the bottom left and go left to right up on the top. So we'll go 47.12 plus our 90 degree angle plus our 42.88 equals 180. Now, isn't that a good feeling? It's so rare in life that we can prove ourselves and know at the end of the day we're 100% correct. Going into the test, if you can find a quick way to double check things, understand the key identifiers that tell us that we're right. Our angle A should have been greater than 45. Our angle B should have been less than 45. Those are the identifiers. And then altogether they should add up to 180. And they do. That's how we know we got the right answer and we're doing things correct.